Imagine a world bustling with life, a population so immense it outnumbers the stars in our galaxy. This world isn't millions of light years away, hidden in the depths of the cosmos. This world exists inside you right now. We're talking about the incredible micro-universe, an ecosystem of trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi, and other microbes that inhabit your gut, a community collectively known as the gut microbiome. For centuries, science saw microbes as the enemy, tiny agents of disease and decay, but the truth is far more complex and mind-blowing. The vast majority of the microorganisms in your gut aren't just harmless. They're absolutely essential for your health and well-being. They're uninvited guests who've become integral parts of human physiology over thousands of years of evolution, performing a host of vital functions you don't even know you need. Think of your microbiome as a bustling, hyper-efficient city. Here, countless tiny specialists work tirelessly behind the scenes. There are the fermenters who break down complex fibers and carbohydrates from your food that your own body can't digest. The result of their hard work isn't waste. It's a bounty of valuable nutrients like short-chain fatty acids that feed your gut cells and have powerful anti-inflammatory effects throughout your body. There are also the vitamin factories that churn out essential nutrients like vitamin K and various B vitamins, crucial for everything from blood clotting to energy metabolism. But their role goes way beyond just helping you digest your food. The gut microbiome is the front line of your immune system, a military academy that trains and disciplines your immune cells from an early age. They teach your body to tell the difference between friend and foe, between beneficial bacteria and harmful pathogens. Without this training, your immune system would be overreactive and aggressive, leading to allergies, food intolerances, and autoimmune diseases. They also act as a physical barrier, occupying every inch of space in your gut and physically preventing bad bacteria from setting up shop and causing infections. The diversity of the microbiome inside each person is unique, like a biological fingerprint. No two are exactly alike, not even identical twins. Its composition is a reflection of your entire life history. How you were born, vaginally or via C-section, how you were fed as a baby, the environment you grew up in, your diet, and even the medications you've taken. Every choice you make in life influences the architecture of this internal ecosystem, and in turn, this ecosystem shapes you. The amazing paradox is that while we feel like independent individuals, we are actually walking, talking ecosystems. There are billions of living things sharing our bodies, performing vital tasks, and influencing us in ways we're only just beginning to understand. For so long, we've thought of the brain as the sole command center, dictating orders from on high. But mounting evidence suggests there's a constant, intimate dialogue between the brain in your head and the brain in your gut, an intricate communication pathway that allows the two to influence each other. This isn't just a story about digestion or bacteria. This is a story about how these invisible beings interact with the very essence of who you are, your thoughts, your mood, and your health. It's a story that goes beyond simple biology and challenges our very notions of identity and self-control. Are you ready to explore the hidden world that might hold the key to understanding yourself? The micro-universe in your gut isn't a chaotic jumble of bacteria. Instead, it's a complex and harmonious biological orchestra, where thousands of different microorganisms play their unique instruments to produce a symphony of health. If you've always thought of bacteria as a single enemy, it's time to rethink them as an incredibly diverse population with different tribes, civilizations, and ecological roles, each one essential for the orchestra's overall balance. Microbiologists have identified two dominant groups of bacteria that form the core of this orchestra, the firmicutes and the bacteroidetes. These two phyla make up the vast majority of your microbial mass, and the ratio between them is often a key indicator of gut health. The firmicutes are the master fermenters, responsible for breaking down complex carbohydrates from your food, like the fibers and resistant starches your own enzymes can't handle, into simpler compounds. On the other hand, the bacteroidetes are specialists in breaking down proteins and fats, ensuring no nutrients go to waste. The presence and balance of these two groups are vital, much like the string and brass sections that complement each other in a symphony. But an orchestra isn't just made of two instruments. There are other equally important supporting players like the actinobacteria group, which includes the well-known species Bifidobacteria. Bifidobacteria are the heroes often praised in the world of probiotics. primarily for their role in infant health and their ability to produce beneficial anti-inflammatory compounds. Then there's the proteobacteria group, which, while often seen as a potentially disruptive percussion section if it becomes too dominant, is actually essential in small numbers to maintain ecological balance. Beyond these main players, other microorganisms also fill out the ecosystem, often in less understood but equally important roles. Fungi are a normal resident in the gut. While we often only hear about harmful fungi like Candida that can grow out of control, many fungal species live peacefully in your gut and play their part in breaking down more complex organic matter. They are the minor instruments that add depth and diversity to the orchestra. And then there are the phages, a type of virus that exclusively infects bacteria. Phages are the unseen conductors of the microbial orchestra. They don't infect human cells, but they constantly monitor and control the populations of bacteria in your gut, ensuring no single species gets too dominant. If one group of bacteria starts to get too loud, the phages attack and reduce their numbers, maintaining the delicate and crucial ecological balance. The most fascinating part of all this is that your microbial orchestra isn't static. It's a dynamic and responsive system that changes from day to day, year to year, and from one phase of life to the next. Your very first microbiome was formed at birth. A baby born vaginally receives its first seed of bacteria from its mother's birth canal. In contrast, a baby born via C-section gets its bacterial seed from the hospital environment and the mother's skin, resulting in a very different initial microbial composition. Throughout childhood, exposure to the environment, interaction with pets, and diet continue to shape the microbiome, building diversity and resilience. But the single greatest influence on an adult's microbiome is diet. The food you eat is the primary fuel for this orchestra. A fiber-rich diet of fruits, vegetables, and whole grains feeds the beneficial fermenter bacteria, yielding a byproduct of short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs, that are a vital energy source for your gut cells. These SCFAs are not just fuel, they also act as a protector, helping to maintain the integrity of your gut lining and reduce local inflammation. On the other hand, a diet high in processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats feeds the less favorable bacteria, which can change the orchestra's composition and reduce its diversity. A modern lifestyle with its exposure to chronic stress, lack of sleep, and the use of certain medications can also significantly disrupt this orchestra. Understanding who the residents of your gut are and what influences them is the first step to appreciating just how complex and critical this internal ecosystem is to your overall well-being. It's a world that is constantly interacting with you, even when you're not aware of it. What if the thoughts in your head, the moods you feel, and even the clarity of your memory aren't entirely your own? What if they are constantly being influenced by an invisible dialogue happening deep inside your core? This isn't science fiction. It's the very real and incredibly complex communication network between your gut and your brain, a two-way superhighway known as the gut-brain axis. For years, we believed the brain was the undisputed master, issuing commands to the rest of the body. But a groundbreaking field of research has revealed that your gut is a powerful second brain that's in constant, dynamic conversation with the one in your skull. This isn't just a metaphor, it's a literal physical and chemical connection. The main thoroughfare for this information superhighway is the vagus nerve. It's the longest cranial nerve in your body, stretching from your brainstem all the way down to your colon, acting like a direct phone line between the two organs. Microbes in your gut can send signals up this nerve, influencing everything from the way you perceive pain to the way you feel emotions. When your gut microbiota is happy and balanced, it sends calming signals to your brain. When it's stressed, it sends a distress call that can put your entire nervous system on high alert. But the conversation goes deeper than just electrical impulses. Your microbiome is a chemical factory, producing a wide array of signaling molecules that directly affect your brain. One of the most important is serotonin, often called the happiness hormone. A staggering 90% of your body's serotonin is produced in the gut. While this gut-derived serotonin can't cross the blood-brain barrier to directly influence brain function, it acts as a powerful signal in your body and a key regulator of gut motility. Furthermore, the microbes in your gut produce other crucial neurotransmitters like GABA, the brain's primary calming agent, which helps to reduce anxiety and stress. When your gut produces enough of these calming molecules, your brain can feel the difference. Another key part of the conversation comes from short-chain fatty acids, SCFAs. When your gut microbes feast on dietary fiber, they produce these molecules as a byproduct. SCFAs don't just stay in your gut. They can travel through your bloodstream, cross the blood-brain barrier, and directly influence your brain. They act as fuel for brain cells and have been shown to impact memory, mood regulation, and even social behavior. What you feed your gut microbes quite literally feeds your brain. Perhaps the most compelling evidence for this incredible connection comes from dramatic experiments. Scientists have taken gut microbes from anxious mice and transplanted them into bold, fearless mice. The result? The once fearless mice began to exhibit anxious behavior. The opposite also held true. This astonishing finding shows that the microbiome is not just a passenger, it is a driver of our behavior and mental state. While human studies are still emerging, similar links between microbiome composition and conditions like depression and anxiety are becoming clearer every day. The gut-brain axis shatters the old idea that the mind and body are separate entities. It reveals a profound and intimate link between the trillions of organisms living in your gut and your core self. The state of your gut truly influences the state of your mind, a secret connection that holds powerful implications for how we approach our health and well-being. What makes you happy, anxious, or sad? For centuries, we believed all these emotions came from the brain, a single, isolated command center. But recent research reveals a surprising truth. Your mood isn't a solo performance by the brain. It's a complex duet played with the micro-universe in your gut. The influence of the gut microbiome on your emotional state is so profound that scientists are now exploring new approaches to mental health that start in your gut. One of the main ways this duet is performed is through the microbiome's influence on neurotransmitters. You're likely familiar with serotonin, often called the happiness hormone, which plays a vital role in regulating mood, appetite, and sleep. What you might not know is that the vast majority of your body's serotonin, up to 90%, is produced in your gut. Gut microbes don't directly make the serotonin in your brain, but they are crucial for influencing the availability of the precursor molecules needed for its synthesis. Some studies have shown that specific bacterial species can increase the availability of tryptophan, the essential amino acid that is the primary building block for serotonin production. Essentially, by feeding the right bacteria, you can indirectly influence the raw materials your brain needs to feel good. Beyond serotonin, gut microbes also play a role in producing GABA, the brain's primary calming neurotransmitter that helps soothe the nervous system and reduce feelings of anxiety. Certain bacteria have been identified as GABA producers, so when your microbiome is in balance, it can contribute to a steady flow of this crucial calming agent, which your brain feels as a sense of calm. Conversely, when your microbiome is imbalanced, the production of these key neurotransmitters can be hindered, potentially contributing to increased anxiety and stress. Another mechanism connecting your gut and emotions is inflammation. A healthy gut has a tight protective lining that acts as a barrier, keeping bacteria and potentially harmful molecules from entering your bloodstream. However, when your microbiome is imbalanced, a condition called dysbiosis, this gut lining can become more permeable, a phenomenon known as leaky gut. When this happens, bacterial byproducts and pro-inflammatory molecules can slip into your bloodstream. These inflammatory signals can then travel to the brain, where they create a hostile environment for brain cells. Chronic inflammation in the brain has been linked to a number of mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and brain fog. Some of the most powerful evidence for this connection comes from dramatic animal studies. In a fascinating series of experiments, scientists took the gut microbiomes from timid, anxious mice and transplanted them into genetically bold, outgoing, and exploratory mice. What happened was astonishing. The once fearless mice began to exhibit timid and anxious behaviors. They inherited behavioral traits from their microbiome donors. In a reverse experiment, moving the microbiome from a bold mouse into a timid one made the timid mouse more courageous. These studies, among many others, show that the gut microbiome isn't just an influencer. It can literally transfer behavioral traits from one creature to another. This connection is also a two-way feedback loop. Not only does your microbiome influence your mood, but your mood can influence your microbiome. Chronic stress, for example, triggers the release of hormones like cortisol. These hormones can directly affect the composition of your gut microbiome, reducing its diversity and creating an environment that favors less beneficial bacteria. A vicious cycle can then occur. Stress impacts the gut, which then impacts mood, which can in turn worsen stress, and the cycle continues. Understanding this loop gives us new insight into why stress management is a crucial part of overall health. This discovery has given rise to the exciting new field of psychobiotics, which focuses on using probiotics and nutrition to manipulate the microbiome with the goal of improving mental health. While research is still in its early stages, the idea that you might be able to calm your mind by nurturing your gut is no longer science fiction. It's the new frontier in psychology and neuroscience, one that promises new ways to manage mood disorders that go beyond conventional medications. We've only just scratched the surface, but one thing is clear. To truly understand ourselves, we have to look within, deep into the micro-universe that influences our every thought and emotion. In any complex ecosystem, balance is key. When the delicate harmony between the different microbial species in your gut is disrupted, a condition known as dysbiosis can occur. Dysbiosis isn't just a minor imbalance between good and bad bacteria. It's a fundamental shift in the composition and function of your microbial community, a silent rebellion that can have devastating consequences for your health. Imagine that beautiful microbial orchestra we spoke of earlier. Now imagine a few instruments suddenly start playing far too loud, while others go completely silent. The beautiful symphony turns into a jarring, discordant noise. This is dysbiosis. It's a loss of microbial diversity or an overgrowth of certain species, which can cripple the vital functions a healthy microbiome performs. The triggers for this rebellion are frighteningly common in our modern world. The biggest culprit is the modern diet, packed with processed foods, refined sugars, and unhealthy fats, and critically low in fiber. This kind of food doesn't provide the nutrients that beneficial bacteria need to thrive, while it gives an open invitation for less favorable microbes to multiply. Another major cause is the overuse of antibiotics. While they are essential for treating bacterial infections, they are indiscriminate killers, wiping out countless beneficial bacteria along with the bad, leaving your gut ecosystem vulnerable and imbalanced. Chronic stress is another silent saboteur. Research shows that stress hormones like cortisol can directly alter the gut environment, changing the growth and activity of various microbial species. Similarly, lack of sleep, irregular eating patterns, and exposure to environmental pollutants all play a part in chipping away at your gut's natural resilience. The consequences of this rebellion are far-reaching. Within the gut itself, dysbiosis can lead to chronic issues like irritable bowel syndrome, IBS, and inflammatory bowel diseases like Crohn's. It also causes a condition known as leaky gut, where the protective lining of your intestine becomes permeable. This allows undigested food particles and inflammatory bacterial byproducts to leak into your bloodstream, triggering a cascade of inflammation throughout your body. And this is where the real problem begins. As we've seen with the gut-brain axis, this systemic inflammation doesn't stop at your gut. It can travel to your brain, creating a hostile environment that affects your neural pathways. This is a key reason why gut dysbiosis has been linked to an increased risk of anxiety, depression, and other mood disorders. The physical chaos in your gut translates directly into emotional and mental turmoil. Even more disturbingly, new research suggests that dysbiosis may also play a role in the development of serious neurological conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's disease. While the exact mechanisms are still being uncovered, it's believed that the chronic inflammation and abnormal bacterial metabolites produced in a rebellious gut could contribute to the neurodegeneration seen in these debilitating diseases. The climax of our story is this understanding. The micro-universe inside us is not a passive entity. When its delicate ecological balance is thrown into chaos, it can rebel, contributing to a wide range of physical and mental illnesses. Understanding the factors that cause this chaos and taking action to restore harmony is the key to protecting your health, a challenge we'll tackle in the next section. After a journey into the hidden chaos of dysbiosis, you might feel a little overwhelmed. But here's the good news. The power to restore harmony to your inner ecosystem is largely in your hands. You have a profound ability to shape the landscape of your gut microbiome with your daily choices. By becoming a conscious gardener of your micro-universe, you can unlock the door to optimal health. The power of your plate. This is the single most impactful way to influence your microbiome. Your diet is the primary fuel source for your gut inhabitants, and what you choose to eat determines which species thrive. To support a diverse and resilient microbiome, you need to provide the food that the good guys love. Eat more fiber. Think of fiber as a feast for your beneficial bacteria. This means loading up on a variety of colorful fruits, vegetables, legumes, nuts, and whole grains. These foods contain complex carbohydrates that your body can't digest, but your gut microbes can ferment, producing those all-important short-chain fatty acids that protect your gut lining and support your overall health. Embrace fermented foods. Foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi are full of living, beneficial microorganisms. Regularly adding them to your diet can introduce new, friendly residents to your gut, boosting its diversity and resilience. Limit processed foods and sugar. These foods are the fast food of the microbial world. They often contain ingredients that can disrupt the delicate balance of your ecosystem, promoting the growth of less favorable bacteria. Strategic supplements. In a world where diet alone can be a challenge, probiotics and prebiotics can be powerful tools. Probiotics are supplements containing live, beneficial bacteria. They can be particularly useful for repopulating your gut after a round of antibiotics, or to help rebalance your microbiome. Prebiotics are specialized plant fibers that act as food for your gut bacteria. Taking a prebiotic supplement ensures that your friendly microbes have a consistent fuel source, helping them flourish. Mind-body harmony. Your gut health isn't just about what you eat, it's also about how you live. Manage stress. We've seen how stress can wreak havoc on your gut. Practices like meditation, deep breathing, yoga, and regular exercise can help calm your nervous system, in turn, creating a more stable environment for your microbiome. Prioritize sleep. Consistent, quality sleep is crucial for every system in your body, including your gut. A disrupted sleep schedule can negatively impact your microbial balance. Finally, while antibiotics are vital life-saving medicine, it's wise to use them judiciously and only when necessary. If you do need them, make it a point to actively restore your gut's microbial balance afterward, with a diet rich in fiber and fermented foods, or with the use of probiotics. By making these simple yet powerful shifts, you're not just taking care of your body, you're nurturing a complex living ecosystem. You are becoming a conscious steward of your micro-universe, and in doing so, you are taking control of your health in a way you never thought possible. Our journey into the micro-universe inside your gut has revealed a world of extraordinary life and complexity. It's a world that plays a far greater role in your health and well-being than we ever imagined. The billions of microorganisms living inside you aren't just passive passengers. They're active participants in your physiology, influencing everything from your digestion and immunity to your mood and mind. This story of the gut microbiome is a powerful reminder of the intricate connection between our bodies and the natural world. We are not just individuals, we are walking, talking ecosystems. We are home to a microscopic universe that works tirelessly to keep us healthy. And finally, understanding this hidden power gives us a new, profound way to take control of our health. By making lifestyle choices that support a healthy microbiome, through a diet rich in fiber and fermented foods, careful stress management, and the judicious use of antibiotics, you're not just taking care of yourself, you're investing in the long-term health of the entire ecosystem within you. The micro-universe inside us is the most exciting frontier in scientific research, and there's still so much more to learn about its potential. But one thing is clear, nurturing this microscopic ecosystem is the key to unlocking optimal health and well-being. If you've been inspired by the hidden power within and want to continue exploring the wonders of science and the human body, be sure to check out our next videos. Subscribe now and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on another amazing discovery. Let's keep learning and unraveling the mysteries of life together.